Good afternoon. Yes, that's much better. My name is Igor NOSOV. I happen to be the General Director of the Innopolis Special Economic Zone. And first of all, I'd like to say many thanks to those of you who attended the first part of our meeting. Who were there? Okay, fantastic. Last time, we spoke about the trends of the fourth industrial revolution. And today, I'd like to tell you about our project, the Innopolis. I do hope that how many of you had the opportunity of visiting the Innopolis the very first day? Not all of you. Okay, who can tell me about the Innopolis? What do you know? Could you help me? Okay, yeah, okay, you saw it. Okay, what else? The only city in Russia? There are no other cities in Russia? No? The youngest city. Okay, sorry, the youngest city. Actually, I prefer town rather than city, but I do hope that one day will be a city. Okay, what else? Does anyone know something about how long was the tour? How long you were there in Innopolis? Okay, I think you should know much more than just two facts. That's the youngest. So there are students there, yeah, of majoring in IT. It's much better. There is a university. Okay, what else? The medical rehabilitation center. Okay, the hospital there. Sport venues. Okay. The population is about 2,000. Okay. What else? The special economic zone. That's much easier. Okay. I think next year, we'll have to prepare the better introduction tour, because I did hope that you know more about Innopolis. So I'm here to tell you a little bit more. So first of all, a few words about myself. Unfortunately, I'm not an IT person. Actually, I'm a graduate of the Police Academy, and that was many years ago. And I used to work with the tobacco industry for 5 years. And then 10 years ago, I attended the first special economic zone in Russia. So we were launching the first special economic zone here in Tatarstan. And that was the first part of the diversification project of the Republic of Tatarstan. And 4 years ago, we started Innopolis as one of the key elements of the economy diversification. 3.5 years ago, or 4 years ago, we had the groundbreaking ceremony. And it took us only 3 years to launch the first part of the town. We have a short video showing what has happened between the groundbreaking ceremony and official opening 3 years later. Okay, could you? What else? So that is the groundbreaking ceremony. 4 years ago. I think you can recognize the building, those of you who visited. The first building of our Technopark. Kindergarten, school. Roads and junctions. Dormitories of the university, the sports complex, sport venues, the main building of the university. All the engineering lines, heating, sewage, storm sewage, roads, bicycle lanes, parking lots. After the presentation, I'll be more than happy to answer your questions about the project and maybe other related projects in the Republic of Tajikistan. But before that, I'd like to announce the contest. For those of you who attended the first part, you know what I'm talking about. We have 2 prizes, yeah? 2 gifts for the best questions. And I'll ask Vasilisa, where is she? Okay, so she is our jury, and she will spot the best questions and decide who will get the prize. And we have the hoodie, yeah, am I right? Okay, we have a hoodie. And what's this? Okay, we have the hoodie for the best question. And Pocket World in my pocket. Oh, okay, Pocket World in figures. The very, very useful book made by The Economist for the best questions. I think let's do that. It's quite a big size, so let's have it for a boy participant, and that's for a young lady, if you don't mind. So why we are here? I mean, why Innopolis is here? And what we're trying to do, what we're trying to launch, the history of the youngest town in Russia. So first of all, I'm not sure that there's the size of the screen, but I do hope that is everyone comfortable with the text size? No. Okay. So I'll tell you more about what is there. First of all, Russia is one of the leading players of the world's IT club. So we are the leading positions, both in terms of the market size and the potential of our R&D sector, research and development. Many years ago, actually, I think each and every one here in the audience has a smartphone. Am I right? I have a very funny story. That was about a year ago when we were preparing a small video to congratulate our old colleague with her jubilee. And I sent a SMS message to my friend who lives in Oxford. So he's a PhD and a college fellow in Oxford. And I asked him to film a very short video using a smartphone. And he told me, okay, great idea, I have no smartphone, I have no camera with my smartphone, nor my wife. At the moment, I think the Russians, we love smartphones, and smartphone is the key profit maker of the B2C IT sector at the moment. So 20 years ago, I think you were very young, those of you who were 20 years ago. If someone told me that the Russians will pay for songs, music, films, applets, and I would say very, very unlikely. I have a question to the audience. Who paid for applet, music, or video within last 2 or 3 months? Not bad. It's a huge market, actually. So we are number one. I mean, Russia is number one country in the world by the level of mobile penetration. Who could help me with definition of mobile penetration? No? No ideas? What's that? So we have 168.2% mobile phone penetration. No idea? What's that? Okay, 168? So we have more SIM cards, or more mobile that's about SIM cards actually, than the population. It's a huge market actually. We have the largest number of internet users in Europe, 72 and 3 million people. And actually I was really surprised with this fact 2 years ago when I first saw it, that the Russian language is the second most popular language in the global internet, on the global internet, sorry, after English. At the very same time, we are quite actively implementing the new technologies. just one example. So Russia was the first place to officially launch the LTE advanced technology. Even Japan or Korea, the actual leaders of LTE technology, were the second and the third. I have one more question to the audience. Could you tell me, does any one of you know the IT centers of the global IT sector? So Silicon Valley, and where else? Skolkovo, okay. Two largest centers in the world, okay. Silicon Valley, Skolkovo, any other ideas? Innopolis, okay, why not? One day. Skolkovo as well one day, not today, actually. The actual IT centers. Bangalore, yes, not bad. Bangalore is a huge center. Okay. At least two, Bangalore and Silicon Valley. So we have Silicon Valley, Boston, Bangalore, Cork in Ireland, and many other centers. So the main idea of the Innopolis, and that's our great ambition, to create the favorable business environment and to put the new IT capital of Russia here by creating the environment and by creating the favorable conditions. We are extremely conveniently located in the center of the most densely populated area of Russia. I'm not sure, yeah, the quality is not good, but we are located in the center and of the most densely populated, as I said, and more than 50% of the Russian population lives within 1,000 kilometer reach of Tatarstan, of Kazan and Innopolis. And it's very important for us that we are located in the center of so-called Millionaire City Circle. All the Russian cities with a population more than 1 million people are straight A cities, with exception for St. Petersburg, Omsk and Novosibirsk. So all the other cities are located in the neighborhood. And we are here in the center of the circle. For us, it's extremely important because IT sector today is the most HR sensitive. And these cities, historically, are the centers of the education and science of both Soviet Union and Russian Federation. And for us, it's a very convenient location because we are relying on the best talents from these places. So the picture was made 4 years ago. You saw the video. And the video shows that we are the most, so the fastest growing project of such a scale in Russia. Yeah, I think you know the map. So at the moment we are here, and Innopolis is here. We are very conveniently located to Kazan, and that's a great location just because, on the one hand, you are next to the millionaire city, to a huge city with all the necessary infrastructure. Usually I use an example of the opera house. I think that there will be no time within 50 years that we'll have the huge opera house in Innopolis. But at the very same time, it takes only 45 minutes if you're a big opera fan to get your tickets and to attend the opera. But we are a small town at the moment, relatively small town, but we are doing at the moment absolutely. So we are in absolutely unique position. But because for the first time in the newest Russian history, we are creating the traditions of a new town, and that's a great opportunity. It's a big pleasure, and of course that's a big responsibility. What we want to do, we want to create the unique environment of the innovative city, of the IT city, innovative town, IT town. And is there anyone from Moscow here? Okay. I think you're familiar with Khimki, the town of Khimki. And we do hope that we'll not have the same destiny as Khimki, when it's really hard to draw the line between Moscow and Khimki. I'm not talking about the the physical border. I'm talking about the traditions and who lives in Himki, who lives in Moscow. And here we want to create our own traditions of an innovative town with a relatively young population. So that's, you are very familiar with this view. We were very happy to have, it was much easier to launch the project of our scale because we had, and of course still have, the great neighbors, one of the best hospitality infrastructure. So I'm talking about the campus premises as well, the venue of the campus. And we have such a great neighbors like one of the best golf courses in Russia, and shooting range, and ski resort. Actually, I think you know it well, that this is the ski resort, but not this season. The initial master plan was made by our partners from Singapore. Have you ever been to Singapore? Any of you? Okay, it's a really great example of the city planning, and actually that was one of the points why we decided to go together with the Singaporean partners. And the initial master plan of the project was made by Mr. Lee Take, who used to be the chief planning officer of Singapore, working with Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, the first prime minister of the modern Singapore. But the thing is, we used the best international experience, the partners from Singapore, but all the for master planning, but all the design papers and all the construction papers were made by local Tatar and Kazan-based architects. The key elements of Innopolis is, of course, the University of Innopolis. At the moment, so University of Innopolis is quite young as the town of Innopolis, but at the moment they have 352 students, and starting the 1st September, the number will rise up to 600 students. And that's one of the best places to get the proper IT education, and education in robotics and several IT-related subjects. The special economic zone. I do work with the special economic zone, the managing company of the whole project, and at the very same time we do provide investors and tenants of the special economic zone with a certain level of perks and incentives. So according to the Russian law, if you are a tenant or a resident of the special economic zone, you could use the 5 direct tax incentives, including the corporate tax, insurance payments, and transport tax, property tax, and land tax, and very low. I think it's here. Yeah, and you have perks on the rent price and the land price as well. At the moment, we have 21 officially registered residents. Most of them are Russian companies, and one is Singaporean company, Ikronis, one of the leaders of the segment. And within 2 weeks, we will have 26 instead of 21. So we'll have, within 2 weeks, we'll have 5 residents more. Very important part of the Innopolis, of course, because we're talking not about only about the university or the special economic zone, is the social infrastructure. So we have the social, as the part of the social infrastructure, we have the residential housing. So me and my colleagues, we live in Innopolis, at least part of the week. And that was built by the government, and that is the one of the bright examples of the private-public partnership. So the local, the Kazan-based investors, they just believe in the bright future of Innopolis, and they decided to invest their own money and to build the semi-detached houses. So we have the great educational infrastructure other than the university. We have school, which is at the moment school is specialized in mathematics, and all the best all the best students, the school students from at the moment from Tajikistan, best talents in mathematics and physics are here, and starting from the 1st of September, we'll focus on getting the best talents from all over the Russia. So it's a big federal project. And we have the Innopolis International School. So that's a kind of the kindergarten using the IB, the International Education Program, and the education here is the Russian, for Russian, Tatar, and English speakers. We have a great sports infrastructure, including the swimming pool and all the necessary indoor and outdoor sport premises, and the medical center. So I think someone of you mentioned the medical center. That was the 3D image was made 4 years ago. That was our vision of the future, and today we have most of the premises here are real, including the first building of our Technopark, the second building is under construction, and the residential areas, university, even the semi-detached houses here, school, everything is real. So thank you so much for your attention. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions and tell you more about the project. Okay, we have prizes. I just wanted to mention. Yeah, please.
Yeah. I want to ask you, can you see...
if you introduce yourself briefly, that would be much appreciated.
Yes, I'm Timur. I'm studying at school. My name is Timur, and my question is about, can you see another sphere of development in Innopolis except the IT technologies and IT university? For example, another sphere, maybe some industrial or maybe tourism, I don't know.
If talking about the special economic zone, we focus on IT as the cross-functional sector. So today it's really hard to draw the line between IT and other sectors because IT is everywhere. Public health, transportation, logistics. The thing is, when we started 4 years ago, we decided not to spread our activities largely because our colleagues, we are not the first special economic, we are not the first R&D special economic zone. When we started, we had 4 other special economic zones launched 10 years ago. So at the moment we have the old ones in St. Petersburg, Dubna, Zelenograd and Tomsk. And actually these special economic zones, they started with a very huge focus, starting from the biomed and up to the satellites. We decided, just because we realized that we don't want to spread our activities, and we decided to go deeply into IT as the most functional. And the key element of the Innopolis Special Economic Zone was the cooperation with the Innopolis University. Other special economic zones, they don't have such an opportunity to have their own or attached sister university within the borders of the Special Economic Zone. And for us, it was very important because we decided to go to the IT sector. We had the university team, and they are focused on IT sector as well. But we do realize that one day we will go further. But the thing is, it's really hard to predict which direction, which trend will be 5 years from now or 10 years from now, because the time is changing too fast. And the IT, I think it's the best starting base for dealing with the innovative sector. And the other very important point is that we investing the money coming from the government. And if you want to cover all the aspects or all the trends, including biomed, nanotech, transportation, smart cities, transportation, you must invest more money because you need laboratories of this type, these laboratories, that laboratories. You need these special venues. And we decided to be flexible from the very first day. And now we do realize that we must be flexible, and IT is the best starting point for that. And the other point is that Kazan is a city with a very rich history in IT, because in Kazan there is still a leading hardware manufacturer, the ICL company, the local company, and the president of Tatarstan, he usually says that we must use our the history or industrial history, and we must use our advantages of the existing companies or existing players. So we have the rich history in IT, mostly in hardware, not in software. But we use these as the basis of the project, and one day we'll go further.
Thank you for the presentation. So I have two questions for you. The first one is about Innopolis, and then the second one is about you. So we heard about the Alabuga. It's not also far from here. And I just wanted to ask, we heard of the conditions it offers to help companies that are coming in, and talking about the 10 years period and everything. So what are the special conditions that will be peculiar to Innopolis, since they are located not far from each other?
So mentioning Alabuga, I have a very big personal affinity for Alabuga, because I used to work from the very first day, and I used to work as the deputy head and the head of Alabuga and the chairman of the board. So I know this project quite well. Technically, on the legal side, we have the same set of perks and incentives. If we go back to the slide where we have all the incentives, they are the same. But at the very same moment, we are focusing the different target audience. So Alabuga is is huge industrial project for huge factories. And that's why they have the other main principle of work. So they don't have the huge technoparks as we do, but they have the special conditions for the land plots for the investors. And even the size of Alabuga is much bigger, just because the big industrial investors, they need the larger land plots. And we are focusing the R&D part of the economy, and Alabuga focusing on industrial. But we have several projects as a potential project of cooperation, where one big investor enters both Alabuga and Innopolis, but with the different stages for the IT part of the project here at Innopolis, and for the huge industrial scale projects in Alabuga. And we're still big friends, so many of us, not only me, many of my colleagues from my team, they had an opportunity to work, to launch the Alabuga project. So we are big friends, and we are helping each other any opportunity.
Okay, the second question is, you said you don't have an IT background, so you came from the police academy, and we just want to know how you were able to cross in, to adapt to this new field, and what actually attracted you to the field.
So there is one funny aspect of my background, or having no IT background, because my father who passed away 10 years ago. He used to be the IT professional many years ago. And in Kazan, there were only, I think, about 10 IT professionals only those days. And that is something like connecting to my family roots. But I never ever had any idea that I will work with the IT sector. But 90% of my work, or my everyday work-related activities, are not about the IT. It's about, most of all, it's about construction and maintenance and administrative procedures. And I'm not doing. I'm working for the IT project, but I'm not doing an IT part of my job. But it's really interesting because I do realize, and I have just few examples. Maybe you could help me. The IT sector is the fastest growing sector. Well, I mean the huge IT sector, and we have just few examples. Does anyone of you, yeah, your attention, please? Okay, could tell me about the most valuable brands? Have you got any ideas globally? Who can help me with the most valuable, the most brands globally? Not only IT. I mean just Coca-Cola. Okay, not bad. Coca-Cola, Apple, Microsoft, Toyota. Any ideas of the most valuable brands? General GE. Okay. Any other idea? Google. Okay.
Facebook.
RANEPA. Okay, one of them. And the other question: how many of 5 most valuable brands are from the IT sector? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? Any ideas? No, how many? Just give me the number. 3 or 5? Okay. You said 3 or 5. Okay. 2 of 5. Here we have 2 of 5. Any ideas? Yeah. 5 of 5. Okay. Pardon? 2 of 5. So we have the same. Okay. 2 of 5. No other ideas. I'll help you. 4 or 5. Any ideas? Which brands? Microsoft? Apple? Google? IBM? Facebook? Intel? Okay. Google, Apple, Microsoft, and Samsung of Korea. That shows how important the IT sector. And the second example, have you heard of the most the richest man globally? Have you heard of any of the richest men? Okay. Just, do you know the names? Who? Sorry? Bill Gates. Okay. Warren Buffett. Mark Zuckerberg. Steve. Okay, he passed away. I'm talking. We're not talking about Steve Jobs and Elvis Presley. Just the. Okay. Once again, the same question: how many, based on 5, top 5, are from the IT sector? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. 4. 5. 2 or 3. Okay, 3 are from IT and from ICT. From that, I think the picture. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, that's Bill Gates, number 1, Carlos Slim, number 2. Yeah. Oh, okay. Maybe I'm mistaken. And the Oracle, Warren Buffett. No, the Oracle, the main shareholder of Oracle. So okay, 3 or 5. That indicates precisely the role of IT globally and the trend. Because if we go back 20 years ago, we had the 5 main brands like Marlboro, Coca-Cola, or General Electric, and the same with the richest person. It's the economy is changing very fast. And someone mentioned Mark Zuckerberg. I think one day he could be one of the top. Why not? Why not? And the other trend, actually we discussed it last time, the first meeting, that today it's really easy to launch the huge company. I just mentioned the WhatsApp applet, where within 3 years they had reached the same value as the Continental Airlines, 22 billion USD. And we have an absolutely unique situation where the largest hospitality operator, the largest, Airbnb, bigger than Hilton or bigger than Marriott hotels in terms of the number of rooms, owns no room, no property at all. Or Uber, who used Uber? Owns no car. No cars, no cars. And Facebook, the largest media player, owns no content and actually owns no content and produces no content. That was the first, the second question, yeah, about myself, the IT. Okay, how do I work with an IT project, not being an IT person? Actually, I'm a manager, and at this very stage of project, the most important part is in construction, first of all. So we are launching the town, and I have my personal experience in launching such a project because of Alabuga, first of all. But I'm very interested in IT. Doesn't convert me into the IT person, but I do hope that IT is very deeply penetrates the everyday life of each and every of us, and other sectors as well. Actually, we started, why IT only? It's not IT only. IT is a cross-functional sector. Other questions? Yes, please.
Thank you. My name is Katerina, and I'm the student of law faculty in Kazan Federal University.
Kazan? Kazan?
Yes.
Okay.
And unfortunately, you don't need any lawyers. But I'd like to ask you a question. I have seen one information announcement in Innopolis about selling the flats there. And who are you selling it for? It's the first question. And how do you think, and what is your prognosis, something like this, and about the demanding of it, and so what's your prognosis
Okay.
of selling it?
So you're a bit wrong about us not needing lawyers. We, as a big managing company, we need different professionals, including lawyers. Of course, the big project needs mostly IT professionals, but of course, even the big project, the Innopolis, I mean, all the residents, all the tenants, they need not only IT professionals, but of course, including the other professionals from other spheres. As for your question about the apartments and flats, I mentioned that we have the governmental part of the residential program and the private PPP, the private-public partnership project. So, and as for the private-public partnership, they sell the flats, and you could buy a flat there, or the semi-detached houses. But okay, I'll try to show you. So that's the private project, and they are. So you could purchase a flat here, not here, because at the moment we are not selling the flats, we are renting out, because the idea is to bring the professionals, not selling to the market. We don't want these flats to be a financial instrument on the one hand, and on the other hand, we are located in the most beautiful countryside in the area, and there is a risk that many Kazaners, I was born in Kazan, so I know it well. They will buy flats just as we say in Russia, dacha, to have a dwelling place in a fantastically beautiful countryside. At the moment, we're not selling flats here, so you could get flats here. But once we created the critical mass, I think we will sell flats, less than 1/3, just to bring more people to create to create the critical mass further. And the potential demand, according to the master plan of our Singaporean partners, the potential capacity of the project is up to 155,000 people. As for me personally, I think it's a bit overestimated. So my prediction is 40,000 people of Innopolis. Why they gave us this number, 155,000 people, I think that the point is the Singaporean professionals, they used to work in China for several projects, and they're very used to operate with figures, 100,000 here, 100,000 there. In Russia, it's really hard to bring 155,000 people. So my personal prediction, my personal forecast is 40,000 people within 15 years from now, so up to 2030. And of course, the infrastructure today, so this infrastructure, so we have today, is capable for 5,000 dwellers, for 5,000 people, including, let's say, 2,000 or 2,500 IT professionals and their family members and the support functions. And just have a look here. We will need 5,000. We have 40. We will need 8 times bigger infrastructure if we want to have 40,000 people as the population of the city, of the town.
Thank you. My name is Zarina, and I'm student of Kazan Federal University. Thank you for your visiting us. And I want to say that I was an intern in Planning and Economic Department of CES Innopolis. I was surprised by people who are working there. And my questions for you: how do you join the team of that great professionals? And what 5 skills or maybe qualities I am and other young people should improve to be part of this team? Thank you.
So I'm very sorry for answering the question with the question, but what surprised you? You said you were very surprised with the team, or what?
Of the
What-
skills and
What exactly surprised you? Maybe that will be the answer, actually. What exactly surprised you with the team?
It was one big team, and they.
Actually, we're not that big. We're relatively, well, I mean, not that big. At the moment, we have about 200 professionals. Yeah. So what surprised you?
They
The
educate.
size only, or what? What
Not
else?
only size, of course.
Okay.
They educate me of different skills. I was learn 2 types of report in accounting.
So actually, one of the great benefits. So one day, you will be the top managers of the project. Many of you, I think so. And one of the great benefits of being a top manager of such a project is the opportunity to bring people to create team from scratch. Because you are building a new project, there is no old team. And as for me, it's always much easier to create the proper team from scratch than to, re-educate or readjust the existing team. And we had such a privilege because there's nothing in terms of infrastructure. There was just a beautiful countryside, and nothing. There was no team at all. And what we were trying to do from the very first day, and I was appointed the very first day of the Special Economic Zone in Innopolis, we were trying to bring not only the best professionals, but the people with the true belief in the project. And I think that was the point why you were surprised, because if you come as an intern somewhere in an old project, it's always it's usually more complicated because you have the old team, the new team, the old traditions, the new traditions. We had no old traditions, and that's a great benefit. But at the very same time, that's a big responsibility, as I told you, because at the moment we are creating the traditions of a new town. We could be right in this aspect, and we could have mistakes, and that's a great responsibility. But thank you. If you were surprised in a good way, that's not bad. That's not bad. And we have a relatively balanced mix of people with rich experience and with young, active professionals with no experience, but with very high level of the personal affinity of the project. And I think that's the other aspect, the other point that is very important. Okay? Yes, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Ilfat. I'm from Kazan. Thank you. And I have got 2 questions. First of all, is 7 biggest companies of IT world located in Dublin? Also, you know it. And question, what are 7 major companies you would like to see in Innopolis economic zone? It was first. And second is personal to you. I admire your knowledge of the Tatar language, and also I know that you are like art. Can you sing, please, song Itorantel?
Okay. Actually, for the first, I'm not here for singing songs, but if we'll have any informal part, I'll do it. Just invite me. The first part, you said that 7 largest companies are based in Dublin, Ireland. They have representative offices, or they have European headquarters. They're not actually based there. But yes, you are right. Google, Microsoft, and even LinkedIn are based in Dublin. And Ireland is one of the key examples for us how to work, how to deal with both foreign and domestic investors. And as for the list, at the very beginning of the project, and we're still at the beginning of the path, we are interested in getting both domestic and international tenants, companies. And we're interested both in big fish and small fish. So we work hardly to attract very small companies with 5 professionals and huge companies. You mentioned Google or any other companies. Because at the moment we are more focused on creation the critical mass rather than the picking the proper partners. We're not very choosy at the moment. We are creating the critical mass. Of course, we'll be happy to have the top 10 or top 50 Fortune companies represented, but for some obvious reasons, and sanctions is among these reasons. At the moment, we have more partners from Russia, which is not bad. But when we started 4 years ago, before the crisis, we had our vision, the prediction of the foreign and domestic partners ratio as 50-50. At the moment, we have 5% of tenants, international companies, and 95% Russian companies. And that is a bit disbalanced situation. But I do hope that 2 or 3 years from now, we'll have the better, the well-rounded situation with foreign investors. And we'll be more than happy to have all these leading companies here, represented here. And we are working with them, the representatives in Russia, to get them to get the companies here as the tenants. And if you want to, I don't know, how do you know about my language skills, in Tata language, and my musical skills? But if you have an informal meeting, I could bring guitar and sing. That's not now. Yeah.
Thank you.
But why not? Yeah.
So hello, my name is Andra. I'm from Romania, and I'm working as a recruiter for an IT company. So, do you think that Innopolis should be the city of the future? Because we know in IT company we should be with a step forward than the others. So, is the idea of the city like a think tankers, like a hub for genius minds that are working there?
Yes, actually that was the point why we have university. So we were the fifth special economic zone in Russia. It's R&D special economic, and the first special economic zone to have the university attached. That is very important because we're not only about the perks and incentives. We're not only about the office space and land plots and all the engineering lines. We're about the ideas and bringing people together, bringing best talents together. And there is a great benefit for us to have of having university as our neighbors. And there's a big benefit for the University of Innopolis to have us, the special economic zone, because they have employees, they have the companies, the clients actually. The companies are ready to pay the university for education, and vice versa. And as for the think tank, yeah, what we're trying to do, we're trying to bring best talents. We're trying to create the best favorable conditions, and not only conditions. The thing is, and we truly believe that university will generate the new businesses, not only ideas, not only scientific trends, but the new businesses, the startups and the big companies. And if you will check the list of the largest IT companies, most of them were launched by universities or students, and that's the common knowledge. And what we're trying to do the same here.
Okay, and as I understood from my visit in Innopolis, that people who want to live there should pass through a recruitment process. The guide told me that. What do you think about the next fact? For example, I'm working on IT, my boyfriend is working on IT, we will get married, we'll live there. What will happen with us after we will be older, for example?
So the thing is, there are two ways of, if you're an IT professional, I'm not talking about lawyers or other positions, if you are an IT professionals, there are two major ways to join Innopolis. The first way, and I think that's a bit easier, is to be recruited, to be employed by any of the tenants or managing companies or university. And that's the easiest way. And the second way is to bring your, or to build your own business, to launch your own business, or to create the tenant company, which is a bit more complicated in terms of the procedures. Because if you want to be employed, it takes 1 week only. And there are a lot of companies seeking for the best professionals. And there is, so your opportunities are very high. Creating a startup, it's an interesting project, but the risks are much higher because you could fail with your startup. But that's the other way. And what will you do afterward?
When we'll be older, for example, should the city will not be transformed in a diverse one?
Yes, of course. Yeah. We're not an office we're not an remote office center. And why we are talking not about the special economic zone only. We're talking about the town of Innopolis and one day the city, because we want to create the real town with real town traditions for each and everyone, including IT professionals, including their parents, the spouses, children. And even today, we're only 4 years from the beginning and 1 year from the launch of the town. We have great opportunities and the great conditions for kids. We have 2 schools kindergarten and hospital. And that is very important. We are not that well prepared for working with elderlies. But of course, we know the problem, what to do. We're not talking about the old IT professionals. At the moment, we're talking about the parents. If you bring the parents with you, what they will have and what the town could offer them for their life, for the comfortable life. That is very important, yes.
Okay. My name is Ricardo. I'm from Spain. You talk about the example of Ireland, but as you know, one part of the Irish miracle with the IT technologies is that they offer a corporate tax rate much lower than the average in the European Union. I would like to know if Innopolis offers some kind of advantage in this
The
field.
corporate tax rate is zero for zero, yeah.
And also, what measures would you implement in order to attract international talent to the Innopolis city?
The quality of life, first of all. The quality of life, the university, and there are. So, just for your knowledge, the university has English as the main language, and we are trying to create infrastructure with very high level of the multi-language, the English-speaking convenience. We have all the signs in English. That's a very small example. But if we're talking about expatriates, even these small examples, like menus in English or the road signs in English, are very important. The Spain brings several great examples. So we were in Barcelona, where we had our skill sharing. You are among the leaders of the redevelopment of the old city infrastructure into the innovative infrastructure with all this. So one of the great examples, I think Barcelona is among the leaders of the innovative waste treatment. You have even in the center of the old city, you have all these underground vacuum lines treating the city waste. And of course, it's not only about the IT companies; it's about the quality of life and about the getting the innovative solutions in everyday life of the towns. And we used your experience as well. And the president of Tatarstan is a big fan of the Spanish experience, especially from Barcelona.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ivan Asachikov. I'm from Yekaterinburg, Ural Institute of Administration branch of the RANEPA, studying municipal management. And I want to ask you two questions. First, government and sponsors spent a lot of money for Innopolis. So how to make this city or town beneficial? What goals do you set for this? And another question, why residents must choose Innopolis, not another special economic zone? Thank you.
So as for the investments, there are, let's say, technically direct return of investments and indirect. So here we are, at Innopolis, we are about the indirect return of investments, because as the managing company, we spend much more money than we earn. But as the big, huge governmental projects, and we have other examples like Alabuca, the other special economic zone, which was started 10 years ago. At the moment, Alabuca returns more money in taxes than the initial investments. And I don't think that will be profitable one day directly, but indirectly, of course, we do hope that we will be profitable. But we're talking about all the taxes of all investors. And the other very important aspect is that Innopolis will, you know about the diversification of economy. the problem of Tatarstan, of one of the issues, is that we are very highly dependent on oil and the petrochemical sector. And actually, one of the key ideas of bringing the institution of special economic zones, both Alabuga and Innopolis, was to diversify the economy. And that's a very important part, because if you have the economy diversified, you lower the risks, and you could manage the risks much easier. I mean, the risks of economy. And the real benefit from having Innopolis is not only direct return of investments, but indirect, in terms of taxes, in terms of a new level of life, new technologies, and of course the diversification of the economy, both Tatar and Russian. But that's mostly about the indirect effect, not the direct one.
Hello, my name is Ayas. I'm from Kazan, and I have two questions. The first one is, does Innopolis use the same techniques and methods for development as the Skolkovo uses? And the second one, does it follow what is going on in Skolkovo? Does it try to imitate the Skolkovo model?
No, that's a lot less. We're not trying to. Actually, there is a huge difference between Skolkovo and Innopolis. When Skolkovo started, and we are not competitors, because when Skolkovo started, they announced the project as the key scientific hub of the Russian Federation. Skolkovo is mostly about the high-level science. We're not about the science. There is a difference between science and innovation. The science is the place where money is turning into knowledge, and the innovation is the place where knowledge is turning back into the money. So Skolkovo is the first part. Skolkovo is a huge, big federal project, and the proximity to Moscow, of course, it's a great benefit. Skolkovo is next to Moscow. It's a huge project with a very high potential. And we respect what they are doing, and they have a great team. And we are about the everyday commercialization of the ideas of mostly IT sector. And we have the different vision, of course, just because we have different objectives, and that's why we have the similar parts of our work. Yeah, they have technoparks, we have technoparks. They have benefits, tax incentive, we have tax incentives. But we are smaller, and we are, let's say, more grounded. Yeah, if you don't mind. We're not competitors. And Skolkovo team, they have a great team of professionals, and we do admire what they do, actually.
Okay, I understood. Can I have one more question, please? What are your plans for the future, for the 10th year period, after the 10th year period?
You mean the Innopolis?
For Innopolis,
yeah, the special economic zone.
Yeah. What are plans for the development?
The short-term plans is to create the critical mass, because once we've created critical mass, we'll need more money, we'll need less efforts to manage the city, because the idea is that critical mass will create a certain level of demand to bring the private investors. At the moment, 99% of all investments are coming from the government. And we still help the first tenants, we still help the first dwellers. We subsidize, we pay for transportation. We pay for 90% of the kindergarten cost, for example. And that's our investments, not only in the project, but in creation of the critical mass. Once we've got the critical mass, it will be much easier, both to bring in new people, to bring in new talents, new companies, and to create the high living standards without everyday subsidizing, everyday investing from the government. And that's we do hope that we'll have the critical mass in 2 or 3 years from now, 2019. And that would be the other story. Because today we are dealing with each and every, even, we have the grocery store, the supermarket. But that was the personal invitation from the president of Tajikistan, who asked the Bahatle, one of the key retail chains in Tajikistan, to join the project. And I don't think that the grocery there is profitable. But the contribution of our partners from Bahatle into creation of critical mass. But once we've got critical mass, we'll have several shops, several groceries, and entertainment, the points of entertainment, and they will be profitable. And that's very important. So that's the key, the key step in our short-term perspective. And for the 10 years, I do hope that we'll have the town traditions, we'll have the town dwellers, we have companies, and it's very important in the IT sector when you have the broth, when you have ideas, people, companies, startups merging, and people, professionals are moving from one company to another, and that's sometimes it looks like chaotic movement, but it's very important what is creating Silicon Valley, for example, when you have new ideas, new people, professionals, and they are moving from one company to another, bringing the whole project up.
Okay, thank you very much for your answer.
Thank you very much for your presentation. My name is Anna Rybakova, and I have the next question. What is going to be built in the near future? Some interesting projects, some buildings, I don't know, because we were really fascinated by the speed of development, by the speed of construction there in Innopolis. And the second question is, what do you miss living in Innopolis?
Second question?
What do you miss living in Innopolis?
So the first question, at the moment we are completing the second part of our Technopark, the second building of our Technopark. Actually, according to the plans, the Technopark consists of 4 buildings. So we have 2 built by the government, by us, but using the government money. The money comes from the government, and we'll have 2 more buildings as a part of private partnership, public partnership. The new buildings, of course, will grow. Will grow naturally. If we'll need more residential housing, we'll have more residential housing. It depends on the numbers of the dwellers. And I do think that the next building of the social infrastructure will be the second school, because we have a high demand for that. And if you have any ideas what is still needed, I'll be more than happy to listen to your ideas. Maybe you have bright ideas what is really needed at the Innopolis project. And what do I miss? Actually, I live both in Kazan and Innopolis, and I'm a father of 2 sons. And my elder son is in our so he joined the kindergarten in Innopolis, and so I know the real situation in our kindergarten, so all the pluses and minuses. But I think more than half of my time, of my week, I live in Kazan. But and I'm not the very good example, but for those of our dwellers who are not from Kazan, from Moscow or from Novosibirsk, if they live in Innopolis, of course they miss, because today Innopolis is not that active. There are not so many points of entertainment. We don't have a bar, a bowling, or something like that. But they do believe in the project, and it's like the pioneers, the first comers. They have some if you join a new project and you're one of the true believers or the first comers, of course you miss a lot, but you contribute your time, your energy in creating the best possible living standards, and it's a really nice opportunity. As I asked you, if you have any ideas, because our the citizens of Innopolis, or the Innopolis dwellers, they have the great opportunity to just to tell what they want, and maybe they will have it, or even to launch. Maybe if you have an idea, we have several small startups, mostly by the wives or partners of the IT professionals working with the university or special economic zone. And we have the inner kids, the club for the youngsters, inner kids. It's a private club, and that was the idea of one of the family members of the IT professionals from the university. And that's an opportunity to bring your own vision and to launch your own project. Why not? Any other? Okay.
Can I ask one more question? It's not a problem. Okay. As we know, the history of the science cities is not new in Russia even, because as I know, there was one smart city in USSR. It's called Akademgorod. You know about it. And as I know, there should be not only the one cities like Innopolis in Russia. There should be a lot near the 1 million population cities. But only Innopolis is, as we see, already built it. And in your opinion, what is the main key to success of the cities which are targeted to the IT technologies, to the science? Why one cities are built it and other are stay only on the paper project?
First of all, we are not very bright example of the science city. We're not Akademgorod, not far from Novosibirsk, because we are mostly about business, about innovations, as I mentioned before. And Akademgorod is. I used to live in Novosibirsk. I know it well. I used to work in Novosibirsk for 1 year of my life, and that was a great, bright idea of bringing the best academicians together. We are not the same. But as for the innovative clusters, there is a huge demand, and there is a huge capacity. I think the Russian economy within 10 years will have a capacity of more than 7 or 8 projects like Innopolis. And we're not the only one, because even in Akademgorod, in Novosibirsk, they have the Akadem Park. It's really, really good project. It's not a brand new town, but they use the infrastructure of Akademgorod, and not infrastructure, but the best talents, and they are bringing best IT companies, R&D companies together. It's not bad. We're still learning from them, but the capacity, in my humble opinion, the capacity of projects like Innopolis is 8 in the near future, 10, 15 years, and in different locations, because even geographically, there is still need for such centers. And we could be one of the key role models for our potential colleagues from other regions, because when we started Alabuga, we used to travel a lot. We used to bring the best experience and skill sharing. And the new projects that will come to Innopolis, and they are coming actually. So every week, usually once a week, we are meeting with one of the potential big size projects from other regions, and they are interested in Innopolis. That's not bad, because we have awareness. So we created the general awareness of Innopolis, and and there is a big trend. It's really good for such a project in Russia, which shows how important innovations are in the near future.
And why the Innopolis is development more faster, for example, than the Skolkovo or another smart cities in other
It's really
countries?
hard to it's really hard to talk about Skolkovo because Skolkovo is a bigger scale project. It's not a direct comparison of the relatively medium-sized project and a big-sized project in terms of investments and everything. But let's say we have in Tatarstan we have a very good system of support of such projects, and that's why we were faster than others. But I do hope that one day we'll have several projects of such a scale. And maybe for us, it took 3 years. Even if somewhere in Russia there will be the same scale project, and it would take 5 or 6 years to launch, it's not a big problem. The main idea is the result, and we will have the place where the best talents will have the great level of life, rather than to fly to the States or Germany or any other location. And we will, of course, we will compete for the best talents, and we will compete not only within the regions of Russia, but we'll compete for the best local Russian speakers, Russian talents, and because they to decide, and the borders are open, they to decide where to go to work in Innopolis, Academic Grodok, any other smart hub, or to fly to Europe, for example. And we do hope that we could create the best conditions, living conditions for them. What we're doing at the moment, actually.
Igor Nikolaevich, thank you for a lecture. My name is Aliya Yakubova. I'm from Kazan State Medical University. I don't know, maybe my question will be not suitable for you, but it's really interesting for me. When I was in Innopolis, I noted that it looks a little bit like a desert, and there are only grass there, and I didn't see there large trees, and therefore I want to ask about improvement of the city. Are there any plans to plant there big trees, or are you planning to plant young trees and wait when they will grow up?
Actually, we at the moment we have 2 parks, but just it's obvious because the parks are young and trees are relatively small.
Yes, when trees were small.
And but that's the great opportunity to see to see everyday perspective how trees
Okay, thank you.
growing. That it's a good opportunity. As for the green part of the city, we have the big master plan. What you see at the moment is the first phase, is the first stage. It's relatively small, but the further stages will go towards the forests, and we have the greenery there, and that will put more, green part to the project, of course, yeah. But that's very relatively small first phase. As I told you, we'll need to accommodate 40,000 people. We'll need 8 times the territory 8 times big as we have now. Which will include, of course, the more trees. And will put us close to the forests. So we have forests, yeah.
Thank you.
Nice ones. Okay. Any other questions? So thank you so much. I do hope so we'll need 2 minutes to decide who gets the hoodie and who gets the book. If you are really interested in development of Innopolis, you could visit our site. It's very easy to find us, innopolis.ru. We also have the account, the Instagram account, Innopolis. That's easy. Not now. That would be a disaster, I guess. Me dancing? Oh yeah, thanks God. Actually, Tatar is my mother tongue. It's not surprising. I'm half Tatar, half Russian, and I started to speak Russian when I was 5 years old only, and Tatar is my first language. That's why I speak English with such a weird accent, the Tatar accent. Okay, we're ready. So we have the prize for a boy, prize for a girl. Okay, the first, yeah? The most active, yeah, the most active participation. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you. And Alexandra, okay. Actually, I learned to swim in Romania when I was 10 years old. There is a place called Mangalia. There, is there? Yeah, Mangalia. Yeah, Black Sea. Yeah. Really, I'd love to go there because that was more than quarter century ago, and I'd love to go there one day. Yeah. Okay. So thank you so much. Thank you.